Hello! Disclaimer. This video was made by me for me, to mark a slap on my face made by Activision, Microsoft, Blizzard, Bobby Kotick, Phil Spencer. If you're watching this, I appreciate it and you can comment your own thoughtful opinion in the comments. Thank you. I decided to make this video to share my experience and my opinion about Diablo 4 and also to remind myself what to damn focus when I have to choose to spend my time whether on video game A or video game B. There was a huge time investment on my part when it came to the release of Diablo 4. Watch every news, YouTube video, read articles, and so on and so forth. Maybe you did it too. I participated in the open betas, playing on available days and testing stuff out in game, maxing out gear, using exploits, bugs, or just farming. You get the idea. I played the game for pool, selfish pleasure, however I wanted to. It was a great experience and a good opportunity for me to learn if this game was worth my time and money after Diablo 3. I first started playing Diablo 3 around 2015 with the Season 5, and it was a blast for me since then until the last season they implemented. With very few exceptions, I completed every season requirement, including the latest 28th season, and had a good fun. The release of Diablo 4 didn't hype me up that much since I heard of Diablo fans hating the release of D3 and how that game launched. In a way, you can say I was very lucky to experience the game fleshed out, polished, and with most nuisances out of the way years after its release. So I expected Diablo 4 to be more or less the same, but oh boy, I didn't bought a ticket to this ride. To hell! The open betas of D4 were fun, and they hooked me. Game looked nice, gameplay was good, and since I put hundreds of hours in D3 in seasons, I imagine myself doing that as well with the new sequel. Of course, they now have a huge starting point, right? D3. They have a foundation, and developers know what players want from sequel. They tested dozens of seasons ideas before, right? Right? Well, latest patch showed me probably no one that's managing D4 ideas or and mechanics have any damn clue about what they are doing. Or if they do, it's so well hidden and secret that they forgot about it. But I will talk about this in the Grizzard chapter segment. Game has been released for almost 2 months now. Date of this recording is July 20th and has seen at least 10 official patches already, not to mention the hidden patches or changes they talked about in the developer forum posts. They jumped from 1.04 build to 1.1 in 12 days. And this is very important simply because there is no way they could balance or adjust such big changes patch in not even 2 weeks since their previous patch release, which was already a patch that added in some quality of life things. The biggest patch before this was 1.03, in which they adjusted the notorious Nightmare Dungeons experience. To me, this shows that they intended to roll out this patch and they worked on it since the launch of the game, and they knew that they will be making these changes before the season starts. Unfortunately, there is no way to check on their official website the changes to the classes, but if you are caught up on the subject, you know that with this new patch, they pretty much reverted a few class power changes they did with the previous 1.03 patch. The argument I'm making is that the whole patch is not about the nerf, it's about the new season they are releasing. It's self-explanatory that this patch was not a balanced patch, but rather a nerf overall. So we have old builds in the game right now that are still way in other league compared to others. They never desired to balance these overpowered builds, they just wanted you to feel weaker overall, no matter the build you are using. It really feels like there was no vision to entice players into new things, but rather lower the power bar so that the new season feels good. So now I'm left with this question. How is this making the game more enjoyable for me out of the new season they are launching? If my already 100 level character is overall performing worse than before the season patch, how is the new season supposed to add any fresh air to the game? For me, it's mind-blowing that the time I spent in the game farming items, materials, dungeons, and so on are wasted because I'll never have the same power again with the current patch at least, and the only thing remaining for me is to play the season to feel the same character power as before the nerf. I mean, is it the same? Probably, we don't know, because season's not out yet. Pretty crazy, huh? It's baffling to think they would release a patch to nerf character power that are on non-seasonal realm or journey, or whatever they call it, purposefully, that is, in order to make the seasonal characters feel important and probably powerful with the new powers. But wait, what is that? Battle Pass, you say? We don't even know exactly what that is and how it will work 100% yet. And with less than 10 hours on the clock before the season, that is. But we do know that leveling a new character, farming renown, again, farming for materials will feel slower than normally, and gameplay is basically the same. Those uniques and legendary powers will probably drop after level 30 plus, not to mention War Till 3. How is this supposed to be fun and engaging gameplay when the game will not feel the same as it did at launch, power-wise? Feels like a big long treadmill to run on. They wouldn't just nerf non-seasonal characters to entice people to buy the battle pass, right? Right? In the end, developers and engineers know this info because every community post made pointed them out as some sort of a scapegoat. Looking at you, Stash Tab that requires an unexpected huge amount of work. End quote.
Happen. There it is. Okay, yeah, all right. It's a live game. We know we need to it's a live game. We know we are looking at trying to make improvements based on the feedback that we're getting from players. We're playing the game ourselves, so we're kind of seeing how everything is really feeling as it's all coming together with a giant audience of players playing and enjoying the game. We want to make sure that we are making the right changes as quickly as we can for the community. Some of those things are a lot harder than others. But like all the feedback, like Adam, you called out some things really early on at the program, like, we're hearing feedback about, this and this, and like, inventory space. We talked about gems last time and things we want to do there. We're trying to move very quickly in a lot of these things. Some of them are a lot more challenging technically to do than others, but we are rapidly moving on as many changes as we can because we are fervently trying to make the very best version of Diablo 4 possible in the fastest time frame that we can to deliver to the player base, because we're players too. We also want the same things.
All the communication and live meetings they had so far feels lacking in terms of quality information, but they do have lots of posts on social media stating gameplay facts like Uber Unix being available only after level 85. Yep, very important detail about a huge part of gameplay, being a secret. This reminds me of when I'm hiding one of my dog's toys and make him search for it. If he doesn't find it in 5 minutes, I get bored and point out where it is so we can continue playing and have fun. Lol. For me, the latest patch confirmed that D4 will run in circles for a while before even having a chance to bloom into something bigger and better than D3. More changes will arrive that will make the previous updates being useless, and the time spent on developing circles in D4 will account to none for a while, at least for the time being. But hey, I forgot, guys. Resistances will be fixed in Season 2. Come on! No conclusion. You draw whatever you want from this if you made it so far. But I do have a question.